Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Danielle. I'm from Occasionalist Readings. So today's pick a card is to get you some themes, some information, or some ideas about what to expect for the month ahead. If you're watching this as it comes out, it's intended for a follow-up pick a card reading for the July 2025 energy reading. So if you want to listen to the themes of that, it is attached in the description box below. There will be a link there. Yeah, but don't sweat it. This is just like whenever you find it, it's meant for you. So that being said, I just want to inform you all that I got a new sound bowl, which I'm super excited about. For some of you who maybe don't know, I do sound baths in the regular life world. I usually do quartz bowls, but I've been wanting a Tibetan bowl for a while, and now getting into breath work, I was like, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one, get a little bit better at playing the wand, and then I might slowly invest in a whole ton of them, but we'll see. I'm just really excited about this one. So at the end of everyone's reading, I did do a little energy cleanse with this new beautiful bowl of mine. So if you're interested in that, I guess keep watching till the end. Cool. Anyways, so as always, when we do pick a card reading, it's so awesome to get a little bit grounded first. You can do that by taking a few deep breaths, closing your eyes if you're comfortable with it, just taking a deep breath in, down through the nose, and then slowly releasing out through the mouth. We're just settling the nervous system, essentially just grounding and arriving so that you can be as connected to your intuition, to essentially be more centered in yourself, so that when you choose a pile, you hear the messages from a place of love and for your highest good, versus choosing a pile from a place of fear or dysregulation, which often we can be in when we're looking for card reading, is usually because there's something in our life that's just feeling a little off or icky sometimes. So if that's the case, you might want to just take a couple of extra breaths. And after you do that, you just sort of open your eyes and ask yourself, is there a message for me in one of these piles? And today we're going to be choosing more or less by the crystals on top. But if you want, you can look at the timestamps in the description box below. So sometimes there's a number you've seen a lot or you just really like that's attached to one of the piles. That's one way you can choose it, or it can just be because you just like the shape of a crystal, the color of the crystal, or you just are like, I just wanted to choose pile one. I just knew I was going to choose that pile before I even clicked on this reading. I was going to choose pile one. There's not a lot of logic in it. You just can't really go wrong. And then once you get into the reading, see if there's a message there for you or not. So that being said, pile one, your option is going to be this. Okay, it's a super long name, but it's Purple Fairy Aura Quartz. Purple Fairy Aura Quartz. I'm just going to say Purple Fairy Quartz. But the sheen is the aura-ness of it. So it's super sparkly. And there's a cluster. Pile two is this piece of amethyst. I guess it's kind of a point. Kind of a block of amethyst. Whatever you kind of want to call it. You can call it that. So I'm going to call it amethyst for pile two. And then pile three. All right. Another long name. This is Orange Fairy Aura Quartz. We're just going to say Orange Fairy Quartz. Oh, there we go. Sometimes it seems like there's always one crystal that is like, no, I don't want to focus on myself. I want to focus on all the other ones. Okay, here we go. Here you go. So it's also got that sheen because it's auride. Auride, if that's a way to... a word that exists. Okay, anyways, so if you're drawn on the piles, awesome. I will see you in that pile in the reading in like a second. If not, that's okay. Just pick a different card reading on YouTube. There's so many. There's 100% gonna be a message for you out there. 100%. So don't feel bummed if there isn't a reading for you today. All right, I will catch you around, whether it's in your piles or in a future video. Hello, pile one. So you chose this Purple Fairy Quartz. I'm just going to leave in the corner of this video. And we're just looking at what do you need to know about July, the upcoming month of July, or whenever you're seeing this. What do you need to know? What's coming your way? What are you, I actually kind of want to ask, what are you going to be releasing? Because that seemed like a big theme for July for people? Like, what are they releasing? So, calling is releasing. Awesome. I actually want one more. Awesome. Been releasing. What are you calling in? Wow, those two also fell out. I was only going to pull you one, but apparently you're getting a ton, so that's cool. We can slow down, make peace with uncertainty, assert your authentic needs, practice self-soothing, tame negative thinking, be comfort to yourself. I am safe. I am ready to be healed. Deep at the center of my being is an infinite well of love. I handle authority with ease. I am grateful for being alive today, and it is safe for me to speak up for myself. Okay, so you are very on theme. Oh, sorry, Alice, you need a way bigger frame as I've got a lot more cards than I was anticipating. You're very on theme with the themes of July so far, so that's awesome. I feel like if you did listen to the audio, I think it was only 9 minutes this go around. You're probably really, really vibing with it. Or if not, you're going to really be vibing with it. Okay, so that's my cat Toby. Let's go outside. He's me out at the window. Cool. Wow. Okay. I think everything's finally in the frame there. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of walk through this. I really feel like this pile, if you've chosen pile 1, this is sort of a practice you have been building. I think you've been working through how to get to this space of allowing in more joy, allowing in heart-centeredness, showing up authentically and vulnerably, allowing more love, allowing yourself to receive more, allowing your manifestations to come in. That might be like something you vibe with. You've been working on it, because when I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks like a little reminder sticky note calendar or something. Like I just feel like you've taught yourself to start noticing signs and symptoms and like assert like a checklist of things to make sure you're staying aligned with yourself. There's my cat Millie. Hello. So like the slow down, it's like if you're starting to feel burnt out, remember, take a few deep breaths, slow down, just start to ask yourself, are you taking on more than is yours to take on? Are you holding responsibilities that are not yours? I'm like thinking like, if you're feeling tired in a situation, all of a sudden, have you taken on emotional responsibility for things that are not actually your responsibility? And I don't want to like go on too much of a tangent here, because I really do feel like these are reminders. Like you already know this. You already know this. This is like what you've been practicing and building up to. The other thing I keep seeing too is like with the slowdown card, I get like, take a breather, clear your energy, double check that you're not like literally connected to other people's energies or emotions instead of your own. So I once again feel like this is something you're already very aware of, that you've been checking in with yourself that you're not doing. It's just like, is this mine? Is what's going on? Is this stress? Is this emotion actually mine? And then I also, excuse me, Millie, thanks. And then I also see things like making peace with uncertainty. So it's so funny. I can just honestly see how this is like a step system. So it's like, okay, you're maybe feeling burnt out. You're starting to feel overwhelmed by situations. Just remember to stop, slow down, breathe. Is this mine? Checking in with self. Then being like, okay, am I getting anxious or worried or overthinking a situation? Am I trying to stay in control of an outcome, but in a false sense? Am I trying to, like, am I hanging onto something too tightly because I'm trying to feel in control? So I feel like then you're like, okay, how can I let go of that? And then you like move down the next checklist, and it's like, what need of mine is not being met right now that I'm feeling anxious? Like I need to control the outcome. Like I need to take responsibility. Like I need to worry or overthink something, and then just getting clear with what needs actually needing to be met. And then bam, fourth on the list, practice self-soothing. I feel like then you have like a technique or something that you've established that makes you feel better. So I feel like honestly, I'm getting like, it could be literally like a breathwork practice or a mantra where you start telling yourself something like, this is not mine for me to carry, or I'm not responsible for other people, or I'm not responsible for everything that happens around me, or something of that sort. Like this, like it doesn't have to word for word be that. You already know this. Like, if this should be resonating with you because you are already doing these things. If you've not heard of this is not your pile. You need to find a different pile. But yeah, saying your mantra, like literally closing your eyes, connecting with your body, connecting with your heart. There's just something that you're doing that just checks in with yourself, that calms you down or reminds you. It's not all yours to carry. It's not all on you. Something of that sort. And then taming negative thinking. Did you like that's just like checking yourself? Like, are you being harsh on yourself? Were you starting to talk down about yourself in your own head? Were you like holding yourself to unrealistic expectations? Just checking in, being like, yo, we don't do this anymore. We are kind and compassionate to ourselves. We know that we cannot be perfect, and sometimes things are just going to happen, and our intentions are going to be misperceived, or we're going to forget something, and that's okay. So it's just, I just feel like that's also part of your like step system. And then be a comfort to yourself. This one talks all about like, speak to yourself in a loving way. You do something that nourishes you, know that in this moment all is well. So this is like fully summing it up. Like, you know, like you're realizing that only you can like kind of comfort yourself here, in the sense of like, whatever thing starts making you feel burnt out, worried, or you're starting to take too much accountability on, or you're starting to take in too much of the emotions in your environment, you recognize that it's just you that can actually like figure out what your need is, give it to yourself, or ask for it depending on the situation, and then kind of like correct this past pattern of being too hard on yourself and like beating yourself up for like having those needs, or like not meeting those needs for others, or something like that. So it's just, I really feel like this is a system. Like, this is a system that you've been working on. And now I wonder if even as you're watching this, you're like, I didn't realize I did that in that order, but I think I kind of do this in this order. Like, I breathe, I stop in the moment, I realize, where am I trying to keep control or stay in control, or what am I doing that's self-sabotaging to create a sense of control? What do I actually need? How can I meet that need? Where do I need to be kinder to myself, and how can I show compassion and understanding and meet this need? So this is awesome. Sorry, I keep like fighting my cats to paw up to he's trying to steal the needs card. Meet your authentic needs. Maybe that's really important for this pile. So anyways, I love that, because I was saying, what are you releasing in July? And I feel like it's more like, I think you're releasing the need to do this as much, because I think with time it's saying like this is becoming such a natural step system that like the negative thinking, I think it's going to get a little quieter. I think the feeling like the need to be responsible or take on others' emotions, or the responsibility or the emotions of the environment, that's also going to slow down. So it's just really awesome. It's really awesome. I feel like you're just really going to have this be like really a natural system that's occurring all the time, so that you are like, I don't know if this was the goal for you, but I think you're going to end up being quite a quick processor if you aren't already, where you can like really tap in with yourself and be like, this is what's going on for me, this is what I need, and this is why I'm acting this way. Which it honestly just seems like so nice, because I feel like maybe at one point in your life you didn't have this level of self-awareness or ability to connect with self. So this is super, super awesome. Yeah, and then I just feel like you have a ton of affirmations. So I don't know, maybe you want to like screenshot this if you can read all of these. But it's just like all these affirmations, like, I am safe in all my relationships, and I give and receive lots of love. I handle authority with ease, and I'm always respected in return. I am ready to be healed. I'm willing to forgive. All is well. Sorry, my cat Millie is just literally, no one's doing anything to her. She's just being grumpy. Yeah, sorry, my cat Charlie is now here because Millie was yelling at him, and he doesn't like being yelled at. He gets scared. So now we have a different cat in the video, though they look similar to some people. This is a different cat. It is safe for me to speak for myself. I am grateful for being alive today. It is my job and pleasure to live another wonderful day. Deep at the center of my being is an infinite well of love. Yeah, I just feel like I'm just loving these. I know it's kind of like a lot, and as like someone just listening to a reading, you're like, that's a lot of words that you just said. but all of them are talking about like feeling safe in your body. Like, I am safe. I am safe. I am able to. I have the power. I have the authority to. So a lot of this is like just really, really great. It's like realizing that you actually have more control in your life in a different way than you originally thought. So like kind of what this like subconscious programming or like this burnout cycle was trying to do, was trying to feel in control, but in a way that was like actually impossible to have control in. Now it's like your body's realized, I don't know what I'm saying here. And now it's like you realized how to actually be empowered. Like you couldn't have the empowerment in this other way because you can't control how other people are feeling and you can't do the work for other people emotionally. Or you can try, but it doesn't really ever work. So it's like you found it the empowered way. I hope that makes sense. That's super cool. Okay. I just want to know, maybe what are some things you can expect to come in July for this pile? What are some things you can expect to come in? Unleashing the Wild Within. I love this because this actually is the card I pulled when I was doing the audio recording of July, where it's like just coming forward and being as sincerely and freely you as you choose to be. And this like is all about like letting out your emotions. Like if you feel emotions at the moment, I think past you might have tried to compartmentalize them, or hold them back, or like, you know, basically try to be like neutral face through it. And now it's like, no, show how you feel. It's okay for you to feel. Like you're dealing with all these other people's emotions all the time. You're allowed to have your own emotions as well. You don't need to be neutral or blank faced. I want to say, I don't know if that's something you say, blank faced or something like that. All the time. You're allowed to be you. Okay. Anything else? We have be open to healing information. Okay. We have what? Connect with your emotions. Trust your talents in changing times. Be fearless and stand strong. Yeah. Okay. This Medicine Guardian is really interesting. So when I find it interesting, learn transracial experiences. Yeah. You know, this almost gives me like the impression, I don't know what you're doing in your spare time. I don't know if this pile like is into breathwork retreats, just like some kind of yoga. Like, I don't know. I feel like you're going to be doing some sort of activity where people are holding space for you. So that could just be literally going to like a regular yoga class and they're guiding a meditation. Could be in a breathwork. Those are pretty transformational. There we go. Transformative. And I can't conjugate verbs all of a sudden. Can be very healing. I don't know. I'm just definitely getting the vibe though that like you're gonna have a moment where you're just doing something and you sort of have like this epiphany, like this clarity, like your emotions connect. Like I feel like it's like all of a sudden you get clarity on something you've been like trying to unravel in your mind for a while. So this could be like all of a sudden connecting why you've been hesitant to maybe take a certain opportunity in your life or to embrace something in your life. It just clicks. Like this is kind of like that revelation moment. And it's like when your emotions connect to what your heart is wanting you to know, which I know it's like, it sounds very mysterious, but you're going to know, you're going to experience this and then it'll all make sense. And you'll think of this moment and be like, oh, that's what Danielle was talking about. Yeah, because it's all about like, it's a healing truth that comes through. I would wonder, just with all the other cards coming through, if it's going to have something to do with a limiting belief that was holding you back from a deeper connection. So it could either be like from receiving things deeper or from having like a deeper connection with a friend or loved one of some sort, a partner, or yeah, just embracing an opportunity that actually means so much for you. I'm sorry, that sounds so mysterious, but I'm just getting like, I feel like it's a pretty big thing in the sense that you've been feeling like it's impacted your life for a while and you haven't been able to connect with why you can't embrace it. But the beautiful thing is, yeah, look at that, just like take charge with authority. You're like ready. You're ready to see it now. You're ready to heal through it. So it's going to be really cool. I have no idea when this is going to happen, but I do feel like it's going to be like slightly unexpected, but then also makes sense that it comes up like in a yoga class where someone's holding space for you, or a breathwork where someone's holding space for you, or maybe in like an energy healing session or a counselor session or a therapy session, like something like that, where it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense that it's coming up, but you just weren't totally expecting that revelation to happen, if that makes sense. Okay, sorry, I took a quick pause there as my roommate came home and was talking to me for a moment. So I'm just gonna like jump back in here. Apologies. So I just really wanted to finish like emphasizing a little bit more about these bottom cards here, as I haven't talked about them too much, but it is just reiterating that same message that keeps coming through. Being fearless and stand strong. So like just being ready for change, for these new revelations to come through, and understanding that there might be a little bit of fear still. Like there's that saying, I can't think of it right now, or an expression I should say, where people believe that when they have no fear, they'll be ready, but it's actually not true. It's like when you're feeling strong enough in yourself to push past that fear or to embrace that fear for the change that you're wanting, that is when you know that you are ready. And that's what I'm seeing here. Like there is still some fear, and there will always be fear, because change and letting go of the old and embracing new is a little bit uncomfortable. It is a little bit scary, but you're ready for it now. You're strong enough in yourself to see through this fear, this discomfort. So just remember that you're strong enough. You're strong enough, you're brave enough, you're courageous enough, and you're ready, and you're wanting this. You are wanting this. So that's why it's going to work. That's why there's going to be this change. The fox always talks about being clever, and also about like joyful, playful partners. So I love this. So you take this however you've been trying to bring it in, whether it's in the friends or in the romance, or maybe even business partners. Just like this playfulness energy that comes through and is coming in for you. But what I like about this too, and I'm just kind of realizing this as I'm speaking the words out loud, is like sometimes we can think that if people are very playful, that they're not very serious, or they just don't know a lot. But the fox kind of proves that wrong. It's like, no, I can be logical. I can be very cerebral when I need to be. I can know how to do things and be very grown up, but at the same time, I understand there's value in the joy and the playfulness and the joking around, in the not being so serious all the time. So this just feels like a very balanced card, like knowing that you can be serious when you need to be, and you can be playful when you need to be as well, or when you want to be, or when it's appropriate to be. And then the great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. This card to me, I mean, is such like visually self-explanatory, in the sense that it's like, release yourself, set yourself free. And like, there's so much to this card that it is like hard to explain. Like I always see this as like the Jesus card, funny enough, where it's like, life has happened to you, and it's been a great teacher. It has been an immense teacher. Your experiences have brought so much lessons, so much learning, so much capacity to grow, to flourish, to learn from, and just take forward all those experiences, whether they're positive or negative. They are experiences that have so much lessons for you. And this talks about embodying that perspective of like, all right, I didn't love that this happened, but how can I thrive through it? I didn't love this aspect of my life, but how will I thrive through in the future? I'm just I just feel like this is like letting yourself blossom. So I feel like this is like a really great card for talking about having been in a time of reflection, deep introspection, and being like, I know now what I need to know from what I've been through, and I'm going to know that I can go out into the world and I will not get the same experiences, because now I know what to do with the wisdom that I've learned from my past. So this is like new beginnings, hardcore new beginnings. And if you're doing tarot cards, you might get the Fool card for this, but it wouldn't quite be right, because the Fool card, I feel like, comes from like not knowing. But this is like new beginnings with a deep, deep wisdom. Like the wisdom that comes off this card is like someone who has lived lifetimes, multiple lifetimes, and is like, I now get to go into the world with this deep knowledge, and I get to be more empowered and in control of how I choose to show up in the world. So this is actually a really neat card. It kind of gets me thinking about this whole, like, and this could go down a whole deep spiral about how back in the day, people didn't really have as many growth lessons in one life, if that makes sense. Like, you would maybe work on a soul lesson for your whole life. And now people will learn like 6 soul lessons in half their life. So there's so many archetypes that come up for one person. You're not just one archetype anymore. Even think about it in how our careers work. Like, we're not just in one job our whole life. We have multiple jobs. I think they said the average, oh, you know what? I shouldn't even say this. I cannot honestly remember. It was either, I think it was 6 or 7 people will have 6 or 7 careers in their lifetime. Like, and that just makes me think of, like, that's how often we're going to upgrade these days. Like, so you in this one life might feel like you've had so many different lives. And that wisdom from them all, you get to bring forward into this next chapter. And I really see that you're the wise dove. There's, like, I keep wanting to say this word, there's so much wisdom radiating from this card. And this is so symbolic of you, pile ones. Your wisdom from your experiences. You're not just reacting in the world, you're responding, and you have such a deep peacefulness and calmness within yourself, because once again, it comes back to that feeling strong in yourself, having that trust with yourself, that you're going to be in integrity with who you are and authentically you, and show up as yourself in all your life experiences. Ooh, this pile, like, it feels like you're ready to be the sensei of the world. Like, you're stepping into that, I think, for sure. There's some hardcore leadership and role modeling coming from this pile. It's really fascinating. I feel like you're going to have such an awesome year for this pile. It's been starting for a while, and you're really stepping into, I think, like a role model leadership role in the next couple of months. If not, I think you're going to start stepping into it this July or whenever you're seeing this, but it was really me coming through the rest of the year for you. So that's super, super cool.
I need to stop.
Super cool. Okay, I am just like kind of feeling it out. Is there anything else I should be mentioning for this pile before we end it? Maybe we'll pull another card from a deck. Just like I always like a summary card, like just something to leave you with, the clarity before I let you go here. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull a card from the Goddess Guidance Circle card. Just asking, just like a nice summary card for this pile. So like, if there's anything you're going to take away, what would it be? We have take a risk, leap of faith. Look at that. Take a risk and put your heart's true desires into action. So I really like, that's just wild. That's been such a theme for this pile. Time to take action, time to go for it. Anything else to summarize this reading for this pile? Sorceress. You are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. It's awesome. And lastly, independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. So you've got a lot of like crown chakra here in solar plexus, which is interesting. There is a lot of crown solar plexus here. So yeah, I'll look at one more. We'll do one more. We have Athena. Inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. It's funny. I'm like, one more. All right. Undying love. The love you have shared is internal regardless of the situation. And apparently we're doing 6. Sensitivity. White Tara. You're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. Yeah. So interesting. I feel like those two go well together. Okay. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it here. Anyways, like I say in most of my card readings, I probably just keep repeating myself, pulling more cards, and just being like, oh, right, look at that. You're getting nice things. Oh, but look at this. Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been answered and are heard. Ooh, I love that. You've got a lot of manifestations up coming through right now. So some confirmations there about things working out for you. Okay. Anyways, pal ones, thank you so much for letting me read your cards. If you don't know yet, I do have a YouTube membership that I've just started. You get one like extended reading a month on to like whatever reading I've done on the general channel. and also one membership only reading that changes, and there will be a little voting system so you can kind of like choose what you want the readings to be about. Sometimes I might do it for the members only, but sometimes that might just be the video for the collective on YouTube. So we'll just see how it plays out. But yeah, if you're interested in that, you can join. If not, I just so appreciate your time watching this. You can leave a like or a comment. It helps this specific video get more views, so I so appreciate that. And otherwise, I hope you all have a good one. Oh, I forgot. I just got a new sound bowl, and I was like, I want to end this reading with a little clearing, and we're just going to play it. It's so beautiful. I got it because I'm now starting to facilitate breathworks, and I do want to use my quartz bowls because if any of you've been to a breath workshop, people move, things go flying. Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna get a Tibetan bowl because that is just safer for my bowls. And anyways, I got this super beautiful bowl. Interesting enough, it's a green Tara in there. You got white Tara, but yeah. Same. Anyways, it's super beautiful bowl. I literally just got it yesterday. And I'm just going to end this reading with just sending intention that you get to leave this grounded, clear, and feeling a little more peaceful. Hello, Amethyst pile choosers. So this is pile 2. I haven't pulled any cards yet, but we're just going to be looking at what you need to know for the month ahead. So if you're watching this as it releases, this will be for the month of July. But this is timeless, so whatever you find this video, I just trust it's what you need to hear. So that being said, I'll level lighting for your highest good. Let's see what you need to know for the month ahead. Okay. Cool. Looks like you're going to get a lot of cards. Classic. Anything you need to know for the month ahead? Pile 2s. Okay. I actually kind of want one. Oh my gosh. One more. Shit. Okay. And let's just see. Anything else? Anything else? Cool. Alright. I'm going to assemble them and then I will unpause the video. Okay. Now we have all of you in the frame. Pile 2. What I'm kind of seeing here, it's really interesting because I thought pile 1 was like so on theme for the month energy ahead that I did in like the little audio for July. You can listen to it in the description box below if you want to listen to the themes that came through. But then I'm looking at your pile and I'm like, you're also so on theme, but it's like the message is a bit different, but it's just fascinating how on point they both seem. So anyways, I just feel like for this pile, there's like this interesting balance game happening for you internally. This feels like a very internal month where it's like, there's so much about you really learning how to be very gentle and compassionate and patient with yourself. So ultimately, like this centering of yourself, like knowing how to stay so grounded within yourself. So grounded to who you are, who you want to be, how you're actually feeling, what's like going on in all the different parts of you. So say if you're experiencing some shame around a comment that was made to you in a conversation, and you're like becoming very aware of the fact that there's a part of you that's feeling very triggered or very irritated or just like dysregulated might even be the better word. But then there's still this other part of you that's very much online that's recognizing that you're feeling this way. Essentially that you're feeling overloaded or flooded with some kind of emotion. And you're just like, all right, I do not want to feel like this. I do not want to have this part of me go down, for lack of better words, sort of this downward spiral about whatever it's saying to you in your head. So I think for everyone's going to be different, but I feel like it's essentially this opinion thing, like feeling judged, like it's all of a sudden saying all these like things that I think have circulated in your mind for years. So you know what that is. And we all have our like go-to ways of like beating up ourselves, whether we're saying, of course, I'm not good enough, or no one chooses me, or I'm never smart enough. I never say the right thing. Nobody likes me. Like whatever it is, I just trust that part of you, you're going to be seeing it come up. And the lesson of this month is for you to really kind of get a handle on how to comfort yourself in a way that validates that part of yourself, that affirms that that part of yourself has been hurting, that those beliefs have been hurting it, that the words that other people have said have hurt that part of you, but then knowing how to get back into balance from that. So it, like I said, the reason why I'm saying it feels so self-compassion related is because it does feel like you are going to be, sorry, my finger just got so itchy. I realized I got a mosquito bite on the knuckle of my finger. Wild. How does that even happen? It's so itchy all of a sudden. Sorry. It was so distracting. Okay, I paused and like itched it for like 5 minutes. Weirdly itchy mosquito bite. So then I Googled quickly the spiritual meaning of a mosquito bite. And there's actually a lot of meanings behind mosquito bites. One could be, which is actually very appropriate for you, now that I'm looking at your cards again. The one being that it's a reminder that there is a little bit of discomfort in temporarily in the moment to embracing something else or embracing something new. So that's actually very appropriate for this pal. As we were just talking about, there is just like a bit of discomfort that is going to be experienced, I think, in this month ahead, but it all is going to end up being so awesome. I just keep getting that. Like this feels like those months where it's like really revolutionary, where you really just like unlock the capacity to see yourself and accept yourself at a level you haven't been able to before, but you've been wanting to. And ultimately, like the next step after this would be that you're not feeling this flooding of emotion, this activation of shame or guilt as much in your future. So that's why I think it's really powerful and really cool. Because like, yeah, when it says opinions are the lowest form of knowledge, it's like starting to really, truly, like sincerely not care about the judgments of others, about other people's opinions and what they think of you, how they're seeing you, how they perceive you, and being like, it doesn't actually matter because I know who I am. And I'm strong in myself. I'm centered in myself. And I'm at peace with who I am. And it's not mine to carry if someone else isn't at peace with who I am in the world. So that is why I'm just like, this is wild. And this is an amazing thing to be working through, because it means that liberation is coming for you. It's super cool. And especially with this water card coming through, it's like remove stress, immerse yourself in a soothing bath, walk near a body of water, or gently splash water on your face. Like, I just feel like this is ultimately what you're trying to get to, is a state of peace, a state of calm. And water's just such a great analogy for things, because it's like, it can be so chaotic. It can be so stormy. It can be like one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful force in the world. And yet it can be so peaceful and calm. Yeah, I don't know. That just seems really interesting, especially when over here we have Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. So it's like your emotions can be so strong. They can actually be the greatest strength that you have. I wonder if that's part of the realization, is realizing that your emotions are your strength. They are not your weakness. They are what empower you, what fulfill you, what inspire you. They're not worth being ashamed of or upset with. Yeah, I think that might really hit home for some people here. Other things I like seeing here is just like higher perspective, holding the space, honoring your inner knowing. All these cards kind of play off that same theme of just holding space for yourself, holding space for your own emotions. And I just keep getting like, there's a card, I can't remember which deck it's in, but it's like, see your emotions as teachers. I might even be this card deck. I'm surprised that card didn't come out. But it just talks so much about like, yeah, your emotions are telling you so much. They're giving you so much information. And they're not something to feel upset about having. I don't know. I keep getting some kind of wording around that. And the higher perspective is like, yeah, I think just using that cerebral, logical side of yourself to understand the emotions and what they're telling you as well. So like feeling the emotions, seeing what they're teaching you, seeing what they're trying to communicate to you. And I even feel like this pile would really resonate with realizing that, like, if you're feeling a lot of shame in certain situations with people, that actually the information you're getting from that emotion is that those people aren't supporting you, that they're not meeting your need for security, safety, and love. And that there isn't something wrong with you, but there's something wrong with the way people are showing up for you in that situation. And that maybe you need to set a boundary, or maybe you need to reflect on what kind of people you want in your life, so that you're not feeling shameful or guilty for having those needs in those situations. So I just feel like you see stuff like that coming through for this pile a lot. The patience card, just in case I haven't really talked about it, is saying like, it is going to take a little bit of patience with yourself, with this part of yourself that wants to pop up from time to time, this like insecurity self or this shamed self that's just like, hey, what about this? What about that? Or I'm feeling so bad about this, or this person said that. And just being like, hey, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, I know we're gonna get through this. It's so interesting. I almost feel like it's gonna seem like you're talking to another person outside yourself, but it's really just gonna be this part of yourself that needs a lot of comfort, needs a lot of patience from you. And also what I'm getting in this card is like, you probably are this for other people. Because I have this sensation or feeling, this inkling, there we go. And this pile is really perceived as wise and patient and kind and compassionate when you're interacting with friends, with just strangers in stores and on streets, and saying like, time to like take that practice internally, and really offering this part of yourself that same sort of love and compassion and patience. So it says, press the pause button, take a day off from being frustrated with yourself or others. Patience reaps great rewards. And that also kind of complements that slow down card, where it's like, when you slow down, you can hear what's going on within yourself better. So sensory overload and shame, I just feel like this is the part that comes up for this pile. Once like you get flooded with emotion, whether that's because the situation's very chaotic, the environment's very chaotic for you, there's something going on, then there's a bit of shame that seems to come up somewhere in there, and it comes from feeling like judged. Whether it's a judgment that you're judging yourself on, or someone else is saying something that's making you feel judged. There's something around that. I hope this makes sense. Like I'm like understanding the situation, but I'm like not really getting the key words to explain it, because it is a collective reading, and I feel like there isn't one specific word. It's just like a feeling. I can see the pattern of the situation, but I don't want to say exact words because it's going to be different for all of you. Yeah. Okay, I do want to read some of these affirmation cards. So here it says, my heart is the center of my power. I follow my heart. It says, I create easily and effortlessly when I let my thoughts come from the loving space of my own heart. Which I love this. I feel like this is like furthering like just hearing those emotions, hearing what you're needing. Actually, it's also interesting. This pile might have struggled with knowing what your needs are in a situation. Especially when I get this like sensory overload, I wonder if like when there's a lot happening in your environment, where if there's a lot happening with people around you, if you sort of have this like disconnect from what you're needing, what's going on within your own body, and it kind of becomes like you're just trying to manage the outside situation, the outside people, that once again might be why it's like a slow down, step outside of the situation for a second so that you can like practice compassion and an awareness of what's going on within yourself, holding space for yourself so that you can see what you're needing and get more centered. That's essentially what happens is you get uncentered in yourself because there's so much going on in your environment. So this says, the greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. Yeah, so if you're not seeing the theme, there's a lot about like loving self, compassion for self, accepting self just as you are, creating that love for yourself and not waiting for it just to like happen naturally. Like any relationship, like you got to put a little bit of effort in, you got to put the time in, you got to put that practice, patience, and intentionality for it to develop. And I just feel like it's like saying, you got this. It's going to be the theme for you this month. It says, my life gets more fabulous every day. I look forward to what each new hour brings. And it says, I am a radiant being enjoying life to the fullest. And what I love is that there's a little ladybug in this card, which is all about good luck. So I just feel like you got a lot of good luck coming your way. Also, when we love ourselves and we think we're worthy of things and we're open to receiving things, we suddenly become very lucky people because everything is naturally aligning with us because we are willing to accept it and believe we're deserving of it. Okay, we also have, I am grateful for being alive today. It is my joy and pleasure to live another wonderful day. I balance my life between work, rest, and play. They all get equal time. Yeah, that's a really beautiful card. Oh, it's a biker. They're biking uphill. That's cool. Okay, I don't know why this popped into my head. Maybe some of you like writing haikus or songs or playing music or something like that, or just listening to music. But I wrote a song, like Danielle here wrote a song about biking. And for some reason that's coming up when I see this card with a bike on it is, yeah, I was thinking, I like wrote it, like essentially the song was like an analogy around like the difficulty of like biking uphill and wanting to quit. And also it's kind of like a joke song because it's like everyone has those e-bikes here. They all have mountain bikes that are e-bikes now, and no one just like pedals up the hill anymore. And it was just like a kind of a joking song about like the fact that I don't have an e-bike and I have to pedal up the hills, and a lot of time I want to quit, but I still do it anyways because it's actually very rewarding when I get to the top. And it was, yeah, kind of an analogy of just like life in general. When it gets really hard and uncomfortable, you can want to quit, but like you get focused on the end goal and you know you're going to make it. You know you want to make it. You know you want the outcome of what you're working towards. So you just keep going. So anyways, I don't know. My song that I wrote. That's what it makes me think of. Anyways, don't steal my song idea. I still haven't come up with a catchy tune for it. I don't know. It probably will never be released to the public, or at least not for like 10 years. Honestly, I still don't know how to sing very well. Anyways, enough about me. Back to you. I, for some reason, want to just pull a couple more cards because I feel like all these cards were like giving me a theme, but there's no one card that I'm like really connecting with for you. So I was just kind of like, what would be a card just to really summarize what this pile needs to focus on, like guidance to focus on this coming month? Indigo and Crystal Children, Archangel Metatron, which is all about clearing your energy, keeping your aura clean, making sure you're not taking on the energies of your environment. So another way to word this is like making sure that the emotions that you're feeling are your emotions and you haven't kind of gone into that compassion fatigue or that empaths, what's that called? Empaths habit of like taking on other people's emotions and walking away with them and not realizing it wasn't yours. So really being like aware of, hey, I'm feeling really upset today, or I'm feeling really frustrated or angry or sad or irritated. Is this mine? I'm drained today. Am I hanging on to something that is not mine? And just doing like a body scan and then checking in with yourself. Is it actually yours? So it says, also on this card, it says you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So this card's very interesting because sometimes when I get it, I actually just feel like it talks a lot about helping teach others how to have good energetic boundaries with people and emotional boundaries with people. That being said, though, if this is like really like hitting you with a confirmation in your life, trust that. But if not, that's the general meaning I usually get from it, is like you learning yourself to honor boundaries, emotional boundaries, making sure you're not taking on what's not yours, and teaching other people how to do the same. Whether that's just like friends, clients, colleagues, or something like that, teaching them how to stay emotionally regulated, essentially, and not be dysregulated by their environment. So we also have gifts from God, Archangel Sandalphone. Oh my gosh, you do like music, pile twos. You do. Archangel Sandalphone is like the angel of songs and music. So it's like you hear songs and they hit home real deep. It's like the song almost feels like it was sung or made for you. So I love that. It says, we angels bring you gifts from the Creator. Open your arms to receive. Love that. I'm gonna say what I'm getting from this is like there's a lot of things that are gonna feel like they literally were just made for you. So say you've been like needing something and you go to a store and they just happen to have the exact thing you need. Or a friend is trying to get rid of some stuff and they have the exact thing you're needing. It's just like synchronicities are going to be wild. Wish fulfillments are going to be wildly accurate this month, where you're like, I really could use this. And you're just like putting it out into the world and you have no idea how it's going to come in. And that's like the beauty of it, is you're just like, I would like this. Bam, it comes your way. Like I just feels magical. And also the song thing for sure. Creative writing, Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is all about communication and being heard as you intend to be heard, and hearing people as they intend you to hear them. So it says, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen in an article or book. Well, I was going to say articulate or book. And I was like, what does that even mean? Basically, you might want to do some reflective writing, because I do feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be coming through for you and a lot of realizations coming through for you this month. And it might be nice to flip back and look at them, because although it feels so deep and like so memorable in the moment, I feel like a couple days later, you might lose touch with what that great revelation or realization was, just because there's so much happening for you this month. There's going to be a lot of things coming up and realizing lots of things. So you might be nice to write it down so that in future you can kind of look back and kind of see how those revelations came through for you. Okay, anything else? Pile to news still for this month. You are safe. Archangel Michael, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones at home. So yeah, I think this is pretty important, because you are going to be looking at a lot of past shame and guilt and things that you've been really hard on yourself about. And it's good to know that the reason why this is coming up and the reason why you have ability to work on all this is because you're in a safe, protected space. Like, you are so safe. That is why you're like feeling more secure in your environment, secure in yourself, that you're able to start seeing some of this stuff and being able to undo some of this, I want to say guilt or shame that has built up over the years or over time. So that's really cool. I'm kind of feeling like we're getting to the end of this reading. So I'm just going to ask for one more card just to get anything else out that needs to be said, heard, seen, or whichever to this pile. Anything else? All is well. So Archangel Jeremiel, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. That is a beautiful card to leave this on, because I do feel like that for this pile. there might be some hard moments for you, but like it's all to set you free and it's all to like allow in more. Yeah, so like just keep remembering that you are literally like on that cusp of like you're clearing out just the rest that needs to go so that you can receive so deeply what you've been wanting in the month after this or the next, like, you know, your timeline. I feel like within the next couple of months, easy. I think this is definitely not within the next year. This is within the next couple of months. So truly hear this and know this. Okay. Okay. Just a little spell before or speech before we go. And then I'm also going to play my new bowl to clear your energy as you leave this reading. Just got it. So stoked about it. It's so gorgeous. I love it. I love the sound. I love the vibration it puts off, which unfortunately you can't feel, but it actually vibrates and you can like feel the frequency coming off this beauty. Anyways, if you haven't heard already, I am offering a membership now on YouTube. What you get for it is early access to videos. You also get a members only video a month as well as an extended reading for members only a month. I'm only guaranteeing one of each a month. I might end up doing more if I have more time, but the actual guaranteed amount is just one of each. Also, if that is not something you're interested in, that's totally cool. I so appreciate it if you just leave a like or a comment on a video because that actually helps the channel get way more views. So I appreciate that. And that all being said, let's clear energy. My intention is just to leave you with some peace, ground in this information, and basically help ground in anything you need to for this month ahead. So I'm going to do that now. Hello, pile 3. So you chose this crystal here. Let's get started with your reading. So we're just going to be seeing what's coming for the month ahead for you. Whether you're watching this as it releases or later in life, that's totally okay. It all is limitless, timeless, and here for you when you find it. Okay, so that being said, let's just pull some cards. Asking, what do you need to know for the month ahead? Pile 3 is what's coming your way. What do you need to know? Key. There's key. Okay, I actually want this one and I want that one. And I want this one. And I want that. And I actually still want more cards, apparently. Oh my gosh. This deck. 12. Wild. Okay, there we go. Let's actually check these out, and then I'll pull more cards after, I think. Yeah. Practice humility. See your emotions as teachers. It's so funny. I was just mentioning the last price this card hasn't come out. And you got it. Classic. Embrace your imperfections. Stop sensory overload. Remember your guests. Honor sensitivities. Listen to your intuition. Assert your authentic needs. Appreciate the beauty of the moon. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm also just trying to see what themes are coming through for y'all. Chakra-wise. Wow. It's gonna be kind of hard to put my finger on what's going on for you chakra-wise. Let's pull a card for that. Sacral chakra. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm just going to pause this for a moment. I feel a little bit brain scattered. I'm going to breathe for a second, and then I'll get right into your reading. Okay, pile 3. So what I'm getting for this pile is that you're really being called to not think you have to do so much this month. Specifically, this feels like if we were to tie this to like a limiting belief or a past belief that you've struggled with a little bit, I think this would be productivity and believing that you need to constantly do things on your own, or you don't want to give someone else the responsibility of doing the task because you can just do it yourself, and you wouldn't want to like have to ask someone to do that when you could just do it. Sort of that like very, very independent, very self-reliant type of person who takes a lot of action. And there's nothing wrong with that. But from what I can see here, it's talking about kind of struggling with feeling like you have to somehow be perfect and do everything on your own and just not need anything, to have no needs and just be able to do it. And why I feel like this is coming up. So like here it says assert your authentic needs. So this is like not being afraid to like tell someone when you're needing something from them. So if you're just like so tired and you literally like say you have a husband, a wife, a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, something, whatever, and you're like, I'm so tired, I literally just like want to be held on this couch, chair, bed, whatever, and just be in quietness and just be held and not need to do anything. Like, I feel like that's the kind of thing. I feel like you need nurture, tender nurturing. Like maybe you just need someone to give you a massage and just pay attention to you. And I almost feel like the pressure not to say anything, have to do anything. You just get to be there and be supported energetically and physically by someone, if that makes sense. I don't know. That exact example doesn't need to resonate with you, but it just feel like you need people to not need you, and you need people to actually just show you that you're loved, nurtured, and cared for. And there's just the weight of the world isn't all on you. The weight of the world it isn't all on you. That's what I keep getting. Yeah. Especially like with the stop sensory overload and emotions of teachers. Like I feel like this is like realizing and recognizing that you're getting burnt out. Like, when are you getting burnt out? What are you needing? Like, I feel like you're at a time where you're like, I'm noticing these burnout cycles and patterns. And especially when I see this, like you're catching yourself. You're like, oh, once I start feeling like this, then I have about 2 hours or 2 days before I hit my rock bottom for energy levels. And then it takes me so long to come back from it. So it's like saying, it's okay, like embracing your imperfections, being okay with your needs, like realizing that you can't do it all on your own. No one can actually handle the amount of pressure and responsibility you're putting on yourself. Nobody can. So why should you? Why are you the one exception in the world of who needs to just do everything on their own? Does that make sense? I feel like it's kind of like really realizing and connecting with that you can't do everything. You can try, but it will burn you out. So it's like saying, when you recognize this pattern happening, embracing the fact that you can't do it all on your own, and just being like, all right, I know I can't. I might not like that. I might be mad at myself about this, but I know I cannot do it all on my own. And I need to get my needs met so that I can honor myself and what's going on with me. Yeah. So, sorry, my cat Millie just like yelled from downstairs, and that was weirdly distracting to me. Sounded really sad. Yeah. So, sorry. So I think even taking taking a moment to reflect what you are needing and then delegating it. So for some of you, this is going to be work related, like being like, all right, I need to delegate tasks. I can't just try to manage it all. I can't just say you can do all these things. I wouldn't be surprised if this pile is in a leadership or management position, because I feel like this is where some of this weight and responsibility is being taken on. But just being like, all right, what can I delegate? What can I ask for? Because actually it's part of people's jobs. I don't need to do it all on my own and try to just do it because I can. Everyone knows I can, but I need to honor myself. And then also I feel like there is like this, like, what are you needing in your personal life, in your emotional life? So like getting rid of the workload, which is causing this burnout, and then asking for your emotional needs to be met by these like friendships, partnerships, even yourself. And then like taking action on that. So practice humility. This part comes through when we're like kind of living a little bit in comparison. Like, what would be a good way to experience this? Like, or explain this? It's like maybe being like, well, there's this CEO of a company who does everything. They do it all on their own. And it's kind of like, well, that's cool for them, but who says they're not burnt out, tired, cranky, and taking a bunch of prescription medications to stay awake all the time and offset basically the burnout that their body's going through? It's almost like realizing that like just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean it's healthy, doesn't mean that you have to. And comparison is like the death of everything, because it's not honoring of what we need, who we are, what we're needing in the moment, the energy levels that we have. It's not honoring ourselves. It's not honoring what we've done. So yeah, I just feel like comparison is the death of compassion for ourselves and our situations. So anyways, you're really being told to honor sensitivities. Your sensitivities are gifts. Be proud of who you are. Put your hand over your heart and inwardly say, embrace my loving heart. Yeah, I just feel like this pile has had a past of like getting very frustrated with the fact that you do get burnt out, that you do maybe even get overloaded or sensory overloaded by people, by tasks, by responsibilities. And it's like, that's okay. That's human. And I love that it came up right next to remember your gifts. Like what you might sometimes get mad at yourself for not having the energy because of is actually the greatest gift, which makes you so successful at the things that you are doing. It's what got you where you are currently. So how can you dislike, punish, hate a part of yourself that got you to the position you're in now? I really do feel like this pile has had a lot of success in something in their life. So whether this is in career, which I'm kind of leaning towards, friendships, relationships, influence in the world, something like that. But I really am getting like a strong career vibe. So I just feel like because of who you are as a person, that is what got you there. So it is a gift. Remember that. It is a gift. Leadership. So you're supposed to be embracing the sacral chakra, which is more joy, more play, more honoring of self. It's more of that feminine energy in general. So like embracing just that honoring of what your needs are, that self-care, which, sorry, I feel like might be annoying for this pile. Also came up around the moon, which is like embracing and honoring your emotions, and seeing them as teachers, seeing them for what they are, and not sort of pushing them aside and trying to push through the activity you're trying to push through. So this one says, it's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So the other thing that's coming through this card is like, if you are someone who's in a management field or in charge of a group of people or run your own business or whatever it is, you do lead by example, right? So if you're burnt out, if you're not honoring what you need, if you're like operating not from a place of centeredness, of clarity, and I guess I'm trying to say, like, when you're burnt out, you're just not performing at the level you can perform at. You're not seeing things the level you can see them. And it's almost like saying, like what would be more powerful? Like a CEO or a manager or an employer who recognize that if you take a little less time working, but that gives you the energy and the self-care that you need to become the best version of yourself at work, it's worth it. Like, one less hour of work a day to have a productivity level that is 6 times faster during the time that you are working, like that is like uncomparable math, right? Oh, here's Millie, the one who was yelling. Yeah, it's like just learning that there is like an ebb and flow in people's productivity. And when you follow that ebb and flow and you work with it instead of trying to fight against it, your success and what you create is going to just be that much better. So I just feel like there's like this interesting thing in like, you are a role model. When you honor what you need and you can show up with more energy and more passion and more clarity and presence, that is like so powerful for inspiring others to do the same, to do what they need to do, to honor what they need to honor so they can show up equally. Obviously, you know, there is like balance to that. I'm not even worried about that. And you can't just always be like never doing the task. But that's where it's like, if it's something you actually enjoy doing, you're going to get there either way. So that being said, I want to pull an affirmation card for you all of a sudden. So let's do that. What's a great affirmations? 3 affirmations for this. 3. We have my heart is the center of my power. I follow my heart, which is kind of just what we were talking about. I create easily and effortlessly when I let my thoughts come from the loving space of my own heart. So literally repeating what I was just saying around the fact that like work with those ebbs and flows of your energy. When you work with them, instead of trying to push through them or force them when they're in the opposing state, you're going to have so much more of a beautiful product at the end. Like, it's going to be coming from a heart-centered place, a passionate place, a place of just being so invested and attuned to like what the needs of the company are, what the needs of the work is that you're doing, versus when you're coming from a burnt out place, you don't have that same energy behind it, right? Okay, let's do another one here. We have, oh, look at that. I wanted 2 more. So we got the 2. I meditate on a regular basis and reap the benefits from this practice. I also like meditation is just getting centered in yourself and connecting with your heart. So love that. This pile is getting a lot of connect with the heart. Get out of the mind, get out of the cerebral, connect with the heart to get the clarity you're looking for. Your heart is kind of where your passion is, like where you're like excited to be. Like, it's just like, it knows what's best for you, and it gets out of that like what's supposed to be wrong or right, what society says is right or wrong, and it just knows. It knows love. It only knows love. So it says, I close my eyes, think positive thoughts, and breathe goodness in and out. So this also is referring to stress. So this pile definitely sometimes could use some meditation just to maybe help deal with some like overburdening of responsibility, almost is what I'm getting. Like, so like when you're like feeling really flooded, really overwhelmed with a lot of tasks, doing a meditational practice where you breathe, maybe box breathing would be really helpful for this pile, where it's like equal counts in, out, and pauses, and it just helps your body like physically calm down and feel not under attack, which helps you think clearer. When we think clearer and not from a place of fight or flight, as I'm sure you already know all this, you can just see things clearly for what they are, and the fear just kind of helps fade away. So anyways, last one here. When I wake up in the morning, I plan for a good day. My anticipation attracts good experiences to me. I really like this card. Actually, I've never seen this one come out. Had a really beautiful sun on it. Okay, and then on the back it says, everyone I encounter at work today has my best interest at heart. Ooh, which is really interesting too. Like, everyone wants to support me. Everyone wants to see me succeed. When I succeed, we all succeed. Beautiful kind of meaning there. Okay, sorry about that. I decided to quickly change the battery, and then Millie decided to dive bomb the table. Classic. All right. I would also just like to pull just maybe some kind of concluding cards for this pile. I feel like I'm more or less getting all the information I'm going to be getting for this pile. So yeah, which deck do you want? Give me this one. So just to summarize, what you need to know for this month ahead. So, boy. Anything else, pile 3s you need to know or hear about the month ahead here? Okay, we have you're safe and all is well. I love this. So this came up in another pile. Look at that. Oh, that is That is something. Oh, look at that. She's just taking care of her needs right now, guys. Maybe like you will be, playing around, cleaning herself, loving the safety, loving the all as well. Millie, you're getting a little too excited here. Okay, all right. You're really feeling some feels. Okay, so anyways, it says you are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones in home. I love this. So it just means like work through what you need to work through this month and know that everything's working out for you. Sincerely, you're protected. You're given this opportunity right now because you're safe. You're safe in your environment. You're safe in your work. You have time right now to take the extra self-care time, the extra time to like really go within and be like, what are my needs? What have I not been like? So I'm like trying to organize this. This is just gonna be what it is. Yeah, what are my needs right now? What do I need so that I can set myself up for a better, healthier work, fun, play balance, work-life play balance? Yeah, because you're really needing it, I think. You've been in this cycle of a bit of over-responsibility for a long time. So all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to with hidden blessings you will soon understand. I love this. So it's like saying, although I just said it, like everything is happening for you, not to you. Everything is happening for your highest good, not just out of like randomness and chaos. Okay, I want one more card. We have, okay, Indigo Children. This also came out in another pile. It just talks about making sure that you are not leaving situations taking on other people's emotions. So if you're an empathetic person, a very compassionate person, making sure that when you leave situations and you're feeling heavy, you're just not like yourself, checking in. Is this even yours? Is that even your emotion? Is that somebody else's? Is someone's grumpy? Are you actually grumpy or is it their grumpiness? And just reminding yourself every time you leave a group of people or situation, am I carrying anything that is not mine? Have I taken on something emotionally that is not mine? Yeah, we also have angel therapy. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burden. So this is literally saying, stop doing everything on your own. Stop taking on all this responsibility. You're literally trying to manage the world right now. You can't manage it on your own. You're not meant to. No one in the world was meant to. You, my friends, gotta start delegating. Delegating, whether it's family members, children. I think people at work. I think you're responsible for people at work. Partners, just start doing that. Okay. Anyways, before I let you go here, I'm going to clear your little energies with this new bowl that I got that I'm so excited about. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. It's supposed to be green Tara in the center, although it's not painted green. She's not actually green. But first, quick, my little spiel here. In case you don't know, I have started to offer a YouTube membership. What I'm just promising is early access to videos and one members only video a month and then one extended reading a month for members. I might do more, but I'm just only promising one of each that's what I know I can commit to every month. And if that's not your jam, that's totally cool. I so appreciate it if you just leave a like or a comment, as it helps this exact video get more views. You subscribe, it helps the whole channel do better, and I just really appreciate that. I appreciate you. So that being said, I'm gonna play you out. Just with the intention of grounding anything that needs to be grounded, bring some clarity, some peace for you, and yeah, maybe I'll catch you around another video.